The Galaxy S26 series might cost more than expected, and the reason isn't just about new features or shiny designs. A new report says the higher price comes from changes in the chip industry, starting with TSMC, the world's biggest chip. TSMC is now making its newest processors using a third-generation 3nm process called an 3P. This advanced tech is also used in Apple's new A19 chips inside the iPhone 17 series. Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite 5 and MediaTek's Dimensity 9500, which will power many upcoming Android phones including the Galaxy S26, are also built on this process. Here's the catch. TSMC has increased its wafer prices. MediaTek is paying about 24% more, while Qualcomm is paying around 16% more. It's not clear if these prices are being compared to TSMC's earlier 3nm process, the an 3E, which powered chips like the Snapdragon 8 Elite and Dimensity 9400. But one thing is clear: the cost of making processors is going up. When chip makers like Qualcomm and MediaTek pay more, they usually pass those costs on to phone companies. That means Samsung and other brands like Vivo could raise the prices of their new flagship phones. The Galaxy S26 series may end up being more expensive, and phones like the Vivo X300 could also see higher prices. What about Apple? The report says Apple also paid more for 3nm wafers. But Apple has an advantage. It designs its own processors, so it only pays TSMC directly. Samsung and other Android brands, on the other hand, buy chips from Qualcomm or MediaTek, which means extra costs. So even though Apple is paying more, its costs per chip are still lower compared to Samsung and Vivo. Now, let's look at what these new chips can actually do. The third-generation 3nm chips promise about 5% better performance at the same power level and up to 10% better energy efficiency. That means your phone could be faster and use less battery power. This is possible because smaller transistors are packed more tightly together, making the chip more powerful and efficient, but the prices could rise even more next year. TSMC plans to begin mass production of 10nm chips, and experts think the cost of these wafers could jump by as much as 50%. Apple has already reserved half of TSMC's 10nm production, leaving less room for Qualcomm and MediaTek. That shortage could push prices even higher. TSMC is planning to make around 60,000 wafers per month at 10nm across 4 factories. The first smartphones with 2nm processors could include the Samsung Galaxy S26 Pro and Galaxy S26 Edge in most markets. These phones will likely use Samsung's own Exynos 2600 chip, which is built using Samsung's 10nm process. Only the US, Canada, and China may continue getting Qualcomm-powered versions. Both Samsung Foundry and TSMC's 10nm processes will use gate-all-around GA transistors. Unlike older designs, GAA surrounds the channel completely, reducing current leaks and improving efficiency. This means stronger performance with less power use. Apple is also expected to use this technology in the iPhone 18 series with its new A20 chips. Looking even further ahead, TSMC has announced part of its future roadmap. By 2028, it plans to start producing 1.4nm chips. At that point, TSMC will stop using nanometer naming and switch to angstroms. Since 1 nanometer equals 10 angstroms, the 1.4nm process will be called A14. After that, we might see entirely new transistor designs and materials to make chips even faster and more efficient. The move to 3nm and 10nm chips will bring better speed, longer battery life, and advanced technology, but it also means higher costs. So if you're planning to buy a Galaxy S26 next year, don't be surprised if the price tag is higher than what you're used to.